Hello, this is Hippo Development. I have found another game jam to work on, the Open Game Art Winter Game Jam. The goal of this game jam is to only use game assets found through the website opengameart.com. The game jam requires developers to use at least 6 different assets from Open Game Art. Developers can create and use their own game assets as long as they upload the game assets to the website for other developers to use. Usually, I am not comfortable using pre-made art assets or sound assets, and I thought this game jam would be a good way for me to try to break that limiting habit. In addition to the asset rule, there's a theme for this game jam, Cold Side. The first thing that comes to mind after reading the theme was an Antarctic expedition fighting off the cold. Because we are allowed to compile assets before the game jam starts, I took some time to explore the assets already available through gameart.com. At first, I was looking for things like military camps, science labs, Antarctic bases, but then I found these guys. I love them. They are absolutely adorable and fully animated. While looking through these models, the muse struck me. My elevator pitch for this game jam is this will be a third-person fantasy exploration survival game. The player will start the game popping out of a portal that soon slams shut. They will find themselves in a small camp with a dying fire. They will need to search the snow-covered lands for power stones to reopen the portal, to return home and win the game. The player will have to balance exploration with the character's need for warmth and food. This sets the foundation for the primary game loop: explore, find resources, return to camp, consume resources, back to exploring. Exploring and discovering a new area is inherently fun to me. Finding resources is rewarding in itself. Needing to consume resources adds agency to the player. Having to return to camp to consume those resources can become quite boring. Personally, I don't like to have to backtrack the way I came after completing a mission or a side quest in other games. In short, there is nothing new to see. To fix this, I want to make finding your way back to the base camp a puzzle. In the original Final Fantasy VII, there was a short minigame where you had to travel in a straight line through Blizzard. The catch was that the camera would slowly rotate, causing you to potentially run in circles. The game gave the player the ability to drop flags. The player could then use those flags to tell if they were slowly going off course. I want to do something similar in my game. Anytime the player is away from a fire, the camera will slowly rotate around the player, making it difficult to travel in straight lines. The character will have the ability to drop stones or another type of marker to mark where they have been and hopefully alleviate the disorientation caused by the trick camera. This probably sounds more annoying than fun to some people, but it sounds like a blast to me. One of the most important rules of game development is to design games you want to play. I love exploration games where you can get lost, and I want that in my game. This might sound silly, but Minecraft is one of my top favorite horror video games. Nothing gets my heart pounding like getting lost in the bottom of a cave with no pickaxe, food, and realizing I only have 1.5 hearts left. Questions start running through my mind like, will I get out of this before I starve to death? Which way did I come from? Could I find a shortcut if I took that side path? Is that daylight up ahead or lava? Was that just ambient noise, or is there a zombie in the darkness up ahead? One more rule I need to keep in mind while developing this game is learn to fail quickly. I love exploration survival games, and I'm hoping that experience will help me to identify when a feature or mechanic is no longer fun. As soon as I realize this, I need to fix or remove it. The longer I drag it out, the more embedded it will become in my game, and the harder it will be to remove it later on. If the spinning camera isn't fun and just gives me or playtesters motion sickness, I need to cut it ASAP. If looking for both food and firewood makes the game more tedious than thrilling, I need to decide if I should remove one or both. I will also need to get the game playtested early and often. There are a lot of features I want to add to this game. Because of that, I need to scope out some sprints. I will plan for each week to be a sprint, and realistically, each week, I probably will only get 2 to 3 days of solid coding in. And after each sprint, I want to force at least one new person to playtest my game. The game jam starts on January 1st. By the 9th, I want to have the minimum viable product done. This will most likely just be a dev room where the player can run around, become cold, and warm up, where it can become hungry and eat, and die and restart. By the 15th, I want to have the foundation of the real map done. In the center should be the player's base camp. The fire pit should be fully functional, requiring the player to refuel it. The portal should be fully functional as well, allowing the player to win if they have 5 power stones. By the 22nd, I will want to have finished making the map explorable. In concentric circles around the base, there should be random points of interest. This is not a roguelike or procedurally generated game. These will be pre-made locations that just spawn in different sections of the map each time the game is started. By the 29th, I want to have finished the final touches, creating an itch.io page, creating a main menu, and creating a credits page. The game jam ends on February 1st. I probably will not be doing much coding on the 30th or 31st, with those being work days, but I did create a list of nice to haves. If I end up ahead of schedule, these are the features I would love to add to the game. Most importantly, if I don't add them to this list right here, right now, then I will be tempted to squeeze them in as I develop other parts of the game. Not only will this destroy my schedule, but it will also cause the scope to become so bloated, it will become impossible to finish at all. I am not scheduling any videos during the sprints, but if I need to take a break from coding, I will make a devlog or two here and there. That's it. Bye for now.